One thing that I think I would like to sort of praise or encourage, strongly encourage, is going to your friends' poetry readings. And our next reader brought along a few friends to support him. We're happy that they're here. It gives everybody a crowd. It also means you might be reading to some people that are not writing poetry, and you can get a different kind of response from them. It's also just a cool thing to do. So go to your friends' poetry readings. That's my commercial announcement for the evening, as Ian's friends did. And please say hello to Ian King.
I brought a couple poems about my dad. This one's a sonnet. It's called Fortress of Solitude. Sometimes I want my own crystal palace, out in the frozen Arctic, all alone, with a crystal tube-like supercomputer, answer all my questions, teach me lessons from civilizations past, and I could even talk to the dead and find out who my real dad is. And it would be all right that I'm different, because I'd find out I really was from another planet, and that I had these abilities that no one else could do. But with great power comes great responsibility. And on my own, I'd have a decision, fight or flight. But I'm trapped here by my own kryptonite. This one's called English Voices. In England, we talk with hushed voices and move in stealth, silently, so as not to disturb another. Back home in my family, we move with obvious motions, speaking loudly, lest we not be heard at all. Moving silently is considered sneaking by my father, and a sneak is the same thing as a thief or a liar. And if there's one thing my father won't put up with in his home, it's a liar, let alone a thief. Oh, beware, you unsounded, inconspicuous, dare come to California. This is a mini Tonka, I don't know what it would be, like a mini Tonka series called 1 through 4. 1. If he could only learn to speak to me without yelling, then maybe I could learn to speak without yelling too. 2. Or maybe if I didn't give him a reason to scream, there wouldn't be as much screaming going on these days. 3. But each time I scold my child, I see him there in my rear view. I wonder, does anybody ever use the word scold anymore? 4. And then to see you in your wheelchair or getting by on your walker, one leg removed, something inside me is amputated too. This one's called, And I Think I Got Problems. Lou is feeding the hungry again, specials at 5 cents per pound. $5 will get 100 pounds of food for the homeless. Mom and Dad are staying at Gertie's cottage this Christmas, this New Year, this winter. The sale on their house fell through. The banks won't lend the borrower money, so now my folks are basically homeless too, if not for the generosity of Joe and Sally. And I think I got problems. The president speaking tonight in Tucson. Mudslides have killed hundreds in Brazil, and the flooding in Australia has left thousands of families stranded. Getting out of bed at 5:30 is much easier than at 5. Last night I was asleep with you at my side by 10:30. And I made sure to kiss the children before I went to work. This morning I kissed you in the dark and said I love you. The thaw has come. It is 20 degrees warmer today than it was yesterday. It's called Foxtrot. And in those days, Dad would pile us in the back of the green Volare, and we'd take the drive up 880 past Fremont and Newark and into Oakland to the Coliseum to watch the A's, Ricky Henderson stealing his 100th base. Dennis Eckersley recording his 45th save, record-setting years. Dave Stewart striking out the side. Dave Kingman hitting another home run. Billy Martin getting tossed by the umps one more time. And the return of Reggie Jackson. And the only character bigger than that, but bigger than them, was Dad, buying us hot dogs and soda pop, Cracker Jack and popcorn, pennants and programs, talking about Raleigh Fingers and Catfish Hunter, and how Mom danced the foxtrot with Vida Blue.
Thanks, Ian. And please now say hello to Robin Moore.
Back there on the counter with the other flyers and things, I put a short little thing about American sentences. Paul Nelson, he goes by Slab Man. He's in Seattle, and he has a website. But I thought I would challenge and encourage people to write American sentences this year. An American sentence is American haiku, 17 syllables, and you write it in sentence form. And it's a good way to, if you have writer's block or just trouble getting going, especially in this weather, you're hibernating like I am. So I just, Paul Nelson did an American sentence a day, and then he compiled them into a book. And so I think that would be a good goal for the year, but kind of where you're at. And then when I went to Clark, there was an instructor called Mel Favara, and I took I think I took every English class she had just about, except for the literature. And in last month she had, I'm not sure what the name of it is, but she had a room full of old typewriters, like from 1926 and 1931, and she gave people that came prompts, and then you used the typewriter to respond to the prompt. So this is one of the poems that I wrote. Exposure. What kindles the fire? Impetus to go gangbusters, march to Gotham City, climb Babel's Tower, speaking in tongue, shout to the world of your great secret dream. Expose it to the serpent's tongue, forked like the city street, where your dream dies under a city bus, but leaves a vestige of a vision, streak of brilliance you reach for, falling from a tower black with shreds of souls caught in the world's whirlwind. I had quite an emotional response to Jenny, and when she talked about her mom. And I have a daughter named Jenny. Sorry. And my daughter Jenny's my greatest supporter, and I will say I was not a perfect parent. I had my own little craziness going on. So this is for Jenny. Daughter, you do not owe me. You were not made in my image. You have been you since your first breath. I'm sorry I wasn't bounteous earth mother. I'm sorry I wasn't cool suburban mom. I'm sorry if you felt ignored. I'm sorry. I'm sorry won't fix what was. Daughter, know my love has never wavered. Keep it like a warm sun in your heart.
And now please welcome the host of the third Wednesday reading at Paper Tiger, Joyce Colson.
I'll do it this way. Yes, I do host an open mic on third Wednesdays. Paper Tiger Coffee Roasters, 7 o'clock, 703 Grand. And my featured readers this next Wednesday will be the Luna family. And they're going to share their family favorites, so be there and enjoy their choices.
We'll try to make good choices.
I'm calling it the Ghost Town Poetry Review, which I thought was a good title for having all three of them there. Which brings me to reading my two poems tonight. I have recently been looking back at some of my older poetry, and since I started coming to open mic back in 2011, I've mostly read the stuff that I've written recently, and I was shocked at how much I've been writing. Since 2010, I've written 300 poems, and that's about 4 poems a week. My first poem I wrote back in 1973, and from 1973 through 2009, which is about 37 years, I wrote about 4 poems a year. So I don't have a lot to choose from, but I do have one that I wrote in 2009 and one I wrote in 2007 that I thought I'd share tonight. The first one, written in 2009, is called Moon Song. Once upon a time, long ago, I had a dream that was not a dream. A shaft of silver moonlight spirted down through my window and rested in the bosom of my dreams. I awakened from the full moon's kiss. The white moon and white winter played cat and mouse with night's shadows, playing with tree limb fingers that transformed the shadows like ghostly deeds. In this dark that wasn't dark, by the soft glow of silvery moonlight, I recognized myself laughing silently as the moon smiled back at me. The moon was a mirror of my own reflection, and softly my dreams strayed behind me, dancing and pirouetting on the moon's landscape. A dance that skirted the craters and boulders, a dance that bounded through space and time, and the ballerinas of my daytime memories spun away with wild abandon into the dust of long lost times of yesterday. I basked in that silvery moonlight, soft and cozy beneath blankets from the winter chill, and then a gentle hum began, a humming, as if the gallant moon was singing. This graceful rhythm, this soulful melody, sang to my heart, lyrics to my heart, lyrics at the heart of the matter, lyrics that I knew by heart. They were words of harmony and peace. They were rhymes of my daytime dreams, dreams that shine like the sun, dreams that gloom like the overcast. They were the dreams of drenching rain, the dreams of turbulent winds, the dreams of streaming volcanoes, the dreams that nature knew so well. As this moon song unfolded within me, I saw the moon smile again at me and then gracefully bow to me. Then the drums beat with the rhythm of my heart. Once upon a time long ago, I had a dream that was not a dream. It was a dream for everyone else, but it was the truth for me. The years go by with time, and with time I age like everyone else. But I'll always remember that time the moon sang to me. Even now I hear those echoes, whispering to me in daylight. For when the sun goes down at dusk, and I return to my silent dreams, a shaft of silvery moonlight will spirit down through my window and rest in the bosom of those dreams. Then, and only then, once again, I will hear that moon song. This time I'm going to sing along. And this one is called Dreams of Antiquity, which I wrote back in 2007. I dreamed of the ancient lost land before the life crawled upon the sand. I dreamed of fiery lava plumes and a churning air of smoking fumes. The sea foamed microscopic green, bearing children sight unseen, casting beneath the smooth-faced moon, a time before we called it June. I saw the peaceful water of life, before predators composed fear and strife, before the algae clogged the factory pond, before tree trunks grew a giant frond. I dreamed of the moment when history began its fabled then. I dreamed of the ancient lost land before creation spread its hand and science was future friction, before pen and paper uttered diction. I dreamed of sunrises and sunsets before clocks brought late upsets, and starlit nights so cold and clear they held no beacon lights by which to steer. I dreamed of earth rocking in its cradle, crying, as each new breath of life burst forth flying. Flying innocent into the light, where no footprints stretched out of sight, where no roads twisted into a clover leaf, and no war-torn, starving humans sought relief. I dreamed of birth so grand, so new, where no TV cameras gave us a view, where no politicians gave you speech, but there was no need to preach. For when I dreamed I knew it was true, I would awake to a different view. I would not awake to the living birth and see the virgin, unshamed earth. I would only dream and see in my sleep the beginning of a change so deep that I could keep a piece of that origin and find original bliss instead of sin.
Yeah, I want to thank Joyce for inviting us to be the features next week. So Angelo, Tony, and I will read each other's poetry as well as a bit of our own, and I hope that you'll come down for that. That's a fun event every time they do it. And that paper tiger.
Thanksgiving leftovers.
And Tony, Angelo, and I happen to be fans of each other's writing, so that worked out nicely. You know, it might be tough to read some if you didn't like it very much. Please say hello to our next open mic reader, Bob Sunshine.
I don't know why I like poetry the way I do. I guess sometimes you feel the same way too. We work hard to pay our bills and maybe get a thrill, but sometimes rhyming's the only thing that'll get you up the hill. But sometimes I wonder why I write as much as I do. And then I remember that it sounds oh so true. The Raven, if it was written today. Once upon the midnight dreary, while I download weak and weary, over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten porn. While I nodded, nearly coming, suddenly there came a humming, as of someone gently grinding at my chamber door. 'Tis some vibrator, I muttered, grinding at my chamber door. Only this and nothing more. Doctor. Yes, Bob. I think this is like the 12th time I've come here. I think it's the 13th, Bob. When do you think I can get on the couch?
I love that thing. That is so good. I love that.
You don't need the couch, Bob. I say that. Anyway, let's go through these real fast. Rubber stamp. Skull on grindstone. 45 caliber thrown. All that light has all to shine. Let's just talk to test lifeline. History of bad blood, crud, arrows, bullets, flower, bud, thud, left leg right, now march toward lead, nice and slow, not fast, behead. I think that was supposed to be lead. No, hey, this is the answer to my mistake. Nothing worse than final hymn. That's right. Must leave alone seems quite glim. Pay up later, bill of fare. Look over there, earthenware. Many, oh, I must have held. That's right. Gourmet lunch, the pig just gelled. Box folds right angle, tuck butt. Band-Aid gave God paper cut. And my last one. As I always say, if I hit the floor again, call 911. Gold man used for my Lord God. Bold man, stop my spinning rod. Old man, give some Demerol. Oh man, say that's one more soul. Have a good night. Thank you.
Now please welcome back to Ghost Town Poetry Open Mic, Will. Welcome back, Will.
Sorry, I had to run back there and let my partner know I was up because he rarely gets to see me read poetry. First, I have to say, I'm going to do a shameless plug right now. I did a profile of this wonderful establishment a week ago on PortlandMetroLive.com. Featured restaurants, niche wine and art. Check it out. It was our first Vancouver establishment. It's Portland Metro Live, so I told my editor, come on, can we do Vancouver, please? I live here. Let's include Vancouver, our first establishment. I'm proud to have featured this place. So this poem, this is the first new piece I've written in years, and I have to thank you guys. I was stuck in the corporate thing for a long time and recently was able to break out and be a writer for a living from home and actually make money doing it, and it's an absolute dream to break out of that paradigm. So you guys have really inspired this. It's my first new piece in many, 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 many years. I've written so much poetry, but they were all in a different time in my life. And it's sad that this is, well, it's not sad. It's the nature of things. And I just have to say that there's a line in here I did take from a song from one of my favorite bands called Dead Can Dance. I took a piece, two lines from their song to make this piece. It'll be an unpublished piece, of course, but I have to give that disclaimer and credit to them. No longer leaves, but glass. No longer waves of wind-blown grass, but concrete, but pavement. Man reaching sky high in technological depravement. With the dying wail of the butterfly and bee, man will look to one another in disbelief and see, or will he, as the ocean rise, as species die? Who's the next bachelor? And did you hear Brad made Angelina cry? Through eyes hypnotized by screens, 500 channels of mindless blather. Nothing is quite as it seems. Oh, and did you hear CBS fired Dan Rather? What is the news but propaganda? What is information if it can't be bought? What is free will without controlled thought? What are symbols if they don't have meaning? All-seeing eyes and pyramids and scheming. As the forests vanish and the air turns brown, it's red versus white, you conservative asshole, you liberal clown. As the seasons change and the oceans boil, are you a Christian or a Muslim? Pick up the sword or gun. Face your neighbor, man, or run. Now, go fill your tank and pay big oil. As the poorest get poorer, hoard the cash and save the banker. And when the people get mad, well, send in spies to kill the rancor. Corporate machinations dovetail with a government gone wild, with private prisons to save the poor black child. A war on cures that threaten pills. A life that's lived to, well, pay the bills. The earth is our mother, and she taught us to embrace the light. Well, now the Lord is master, and she suffers an eternal night. Who is this one we call our God? Do we even know? Keep praying to a faint idea, and you'll continue reaping what you sow. How far have we come, and are we in danger? Nature's hand may slap. The fact is, technology has us on the run, and few of us really give a crap. We put on our headphones and mute our surroundings. We shovel mindless lyrics into our adult brains. We capably find our intelligence drowning, then hit play and put on the chains. Can we free ourselves from the chains of control? Will nature do it for us? Is there a single virtue left to extol, or are we past the point of no return? As the channel flickers, humans burn. Sorry, page problems. Let's not leave the future to the smallest chance. Spread the word, take control, let's rebuild our lives. I'm going to read one more just because I want to leave it on like a happy note. That was really like a depressing poem, and it's sad that that's my first new poem in years. But let's just leave it here. This one I wrote literally 15 years ago, but I think it's really funny and I love it. And this is my last one. It's called A Day in the Life. Well, if it isn't one thing, it's another. If it's not your friend, then it's your mother. It's your sister or your brother. It's your soulmate or your lover. It's your car. It's your house. It's your pet, your dad or spouse. It's a roach, a tick, a mouse. It's a tire that is flat. It's a job that won't call back. It's the searing heat outside. It's someone that you knew who died. Or the last thing that you tried that didn't work. It's the browning of your grass. It's the leaking of your gas, or we're all getting old, maybe the leaking out our ass. Okay, sorry. It's the raising of our taxes, the return of all our faxes. It's the pain inside your head. It's the wearing of the sheets upon your bed. It's that little bit of mold that feasts on that loaf of bread. It's the sprinkler shooting water up into the sky. It's that eyelash itching in the corner of your eye. It's when the dog is shit upon the floor. It's someone who knocks upon your door when all you want is to be alone. And then when the knocking stops, so rings the phone. It's your boss, it's your loss, it's your cards, that scars, the jobs that never seem to hire, it's the ones that always seem to fire, it's your mother and her ire. I have a tea party mom, I can speak to that. And it's the people that conspire. These are all the things that cause your day to fall apart. These are all the things that never let you start what it is that you should be doing next. These things that make your day so much more complex. Your forehead breaks out in sweat. You have a meeting. You're not there yet. Traffic is a snarled mess. Your head is pounding with stress, and then you sit back and sigh. Let things fall where they will lie and digress. And then the world just disappears, and then the stress of all these years just fades away, and so the day that had you almost reduced to tears has changed. That one thing that had been another, for both your friend and then your mother, well, they're satisfied. Your sister, your brother, your soulmate, your lover, no longer have they anything to hide. Your car, your house, your spouse, the roach, that tick, that mouse, those problems have been washed away. Your tire and that job, the heat, are not a part of this new day. Oh, what a treat. Your friend who died is still alive. And that last thing that you tried, it's done. Your grass, your gas, oh, your ass, those problems are now none. Your taxes have been lowered, your faxes, they went through. The pain that was inside your head is no longer part of you. And the sheets upon your bed, well, they're new. Well, that mold that was upon your bread, well, hey, it never even grew. The broken sprinkler, it's fixed. That eyelash in your eye, it's nixed. The dog, well, it took its shit outside. And the person that was at your door couldn't make it, miss their ride. Your phone is laid down to rest, quiet in its nest. Your boss is on vacation. Your loss is now your gain. Your car has reached its destination. Those problems don't remain. And the jobs, well, now they're ringing up the phone. And your mother, now alone, realizes she wants you home. And the people that conspired now want to be your friend. Could you ever imagine that day would ever end? These are all the things that change when you sit back, relax, stop everything within its tracks, and realize that things don't have to be one way, for you are in control of what happens in your day.
Thank you. Next we're going to hear from Mr. Herb Stokes. Come on down, Herb.
Careful over there.
He's a Republican, so you're screwed. I call this poem. I got you. I call this poem "How to Die Happy and Fulfilled." Then I realized I hadn't a goddamn clue how to do that. If someone does, come on up. So, this poem isn't about that at all. I call this, "'Tis the season of trick or treat and shopping till you're dropping. Christmas season now starts before Halloween, and there is really no treat, just a trick of it. The stores put out all those Christmas things, thinking holiday customers want the first pick of it. Shall we be thankful for that in November, since by then we're all in the thick of it? The songs, the lights, the huge shopping crowds, and displays which all have Saint Nick in it? No wonder that when Christmas finally comes, most holiday shoppers are pretty much sick of it, right? Merry Christmas.
So a couple of announcements. One is that our next reader, Lori Loringer, and the Loringers have been coming since I started the series in 2004, is a very talented glassblower. This is a Christmas ornament that he helped me make and blow. And he's one of those artists who's a great artist but doesn't really spend a lot of energy on promotion. So I said, ask Lori to bring the ornament that I made and bring some business cards and encourage people to go. Every weekend, Saturdays and Sundays, you can go in and there are movie seats. You can go into his studio and watch him do what he does, and he's a very good teacher. If you want to know something, you would answer any stupid question you have, and I have a lot of stupid questions. And he's able to, keep the pole in the fire for exactly the right amount of time, even as he's answering your stupid questions about it. So if you'd like to buy a great gift for the holidays or just learn more about glass blowing, they're right off of Highway 14, and there are some cards for Jack Loringer that are there. And before I call Lori up, I also just wanted to remind people that I teach a monthly workshop here next door at Niche at noon on the second Saturday of the month, so that will be this Saturday. So if you'd like to come and do some writing, we try to do sort of like high-speed writing. We have about 15 minutes for each one, and I try to get you to write about 4 or 5 poems in 2.5 hours, so we try to get the most out of that time as we can. So if you'd like to join me, it's a $20 suggested donation, which means if you can't pay or don't want to, you don't have to. We just want to have you here and we have a good time. The bar is not really open at the time that we do it, so if people want to bring shareable snacks, that's always a good thing. And she will usually make a pot of coffee or something like that, but basically they're not open for business until after the workshop is over. So I hope some of you can join us for that. And now please welcome the person who's been with us since the very beginning, Ms. Lori Loringer.
I've been here since the beginning of time. Right. Do I sound like the voice of God?
Always.
All right. Well, thanks to Chris, I also became a big John Trudell fan, and so this one's for John. He has I have something on home, a recording of his where he talks a lot about the meaning of words, and he talks about the lie in believe. So this is called The True in Trudell. I was surprised he wasn't larger, considering the size of his FBI file, his voice, his body of work. Such a mild-looking fellow to stand for so much, for so long, so strongly, enduring unthinkable loss. I was surprised there were so few people in the audience, like only I understood the magnitude of this man, the power and endurance his voice brought with it, the truths he shared, the honor of his presence. This day he spoke of nature's gift, the healing plant, so much reviled in white man's law. I was surprised when he looked right at me and said, "You know, don't you, about CBDs, the healing power, you get it." I nodded, returning the gaze, reassuring, "Yeah, I get it." Exchanging smiles, I can't recall what words were next, but I can still feel the truth in those eyes, the energetic essence of undiluted presence, the radiant heart of John Trudell. Right, this is called The Company I Keep. I've fallen in with a good lot. They corrupt me with their love and kindness, their honesty of spirit and truth in action, lead me astray down paths of growth and satisfaction. They peer into the darkness of my frightening depths and pressure me to be as I am. I've been accepted into a gang of e'er-do-wells with no colors to mark them, just the steady light of their presence to shine me back. Having survived the ritual initiation of really being in their company, I return again, like family, to the company I keep. In honor of the spontaneously emerging theme of, strangely enough, rain, I was born on the Olympic Peninsula in the middle of the rainforest, so I call this, I don't need no damn umbrella. Amniotic fluid, freely falling from the sky, warm and nourishing, more welcoming than the womb that mourned my intrusion, the arms that never sought to hold a baby. Under Pacific Northwest sprinkles, I am comforted, cleansed, I seek no shelter, reject umbrellas. I am stimulated to growth beneath these little waterfalls of beautiful, life-giving rain.